specifically condemn Hamas, a designated terrorist organization in the United States, not just for their actions on October 7th.
When you come to the United States as a visitor, which is what a visa is, which is how this individual entered this country, as on a visitor's visa, we can deny you that if you tell us when you apply, hi, I'm trying to get into the United States on a student visa, I am a big supporter of Hamas. If you told us all these things when you applied for a visa, we would deny your visa. I hope we would.
To come to our country to study, and you're conjuring up anti-American rhetoric and hatred towards Jews and others, getting rid of, demolishing, thwarting Western civilization, get the out of our country. Hey, I want to give a big shout out to Spice and Tea Exchange in Prescott, Arizona, coming to you with probably the coldest bundle that I've seen. And the kahuna in the middle, which you'll see on the screen right here, is the absolute best to die for. I mean, people are just going crazy over kahuna, but I wanted to give you guys a bundle of my other favorites because the hickory smoke, I put that on a steak. It tastes phenomenal. And I also play with the bacon smoke on my eggs. So I sprinkle a little bit of that bacon salt on eggs. That's like egg and bacon. Off the chain. Make sure you get a bundle right now. If you're seeing this video, it's not going to be sold out. We're going to put inventory in, but we will get you your package as soon as possible. All you got to do is go on and click. If somehow you do seem sold out, just hit notify me made available. As soon as we put it in stock, you'll get your notification so you can go and get you some. Get you some Spice and Tea Exchange in Prescott, Arizona. We got it right here for you. Go on and get it today. Let's go to Marco Rubio real quick. Marco Rubio is planning and attempting to deport the student Muhammad Khalil. And if you wonder why, like, think about this for a minute, y'all. If he was an American citizen, he could say whatever you want to say. Am I right? If your parents were immigrants and you were born on this earth, I mean, you know, on this land, and you were an American citizen, which I think is wrong. I think we shouldn't have anchor baby status whatsoever. But if you're a legitimate American citizen and you went around on campuses and riled up stuff and you did this, you have a reasonable protection unless you're promoting violence. You have a reasonable protection to be an idiot. America is filled with idiots that have the freedom to be idiots. And that's what make our country beautiful. But when you got a student visa to come to our country to study, and you're conjuring up anti-American rhetoric and hatred towards Jews and others, getting rid of, demolishing, thwarting Western civilization, get the out of our country.
President Trump appealed to a lot of Americans during his campaign on free speech arguments and not suppressing speech, especially from the government. But your revocation of the green card, to many, is seen as one of the most anti-speech actions a secretary can take with his powers. How do you respond?
Yeah, I mean, when you enter this is an important point, and I'm glad you asked this question. When you come to the United States as a visitor, which is what a visa is, which is how this individual entered this country, as on a visitor's visa, okay, you are here as a visitor. We can deny you that visa. We can deny you that if you tell us when you apply, hi, I'm trying to get into the United States on a student visa. I am a big supporter of Hamas, a murderous, barbaric group that kidnaps children, that rapes teenage girls, that takes hostages, that allows them to die in captivity, that returns more bodies than live hostages. If you tell us that you are in favor of a group like this, and if you tell us when you apply for your visa, and by the way, I intend to come to your country as a student and rile up all kinds of anti-Jewish student, anti-Semitic activities, I intend to shut down your universities. If you told us all these things when you applied for a visa, we would deny your visa. I hope we would. If you actually end up doing that, once you're in this country on such a visa, we will revoke it. And if you end up having a green card, not citizenship, but a green card as a result of that visa while you're here in those activities, we're going to kick you out. It's as simple as that. This is not about free speech. This is about people that don't have a right to be in the United States to begin with. No one has a right to a student visa. No one has a right to a green card, by the way. So when you apply for a student visa, or any visa to enter the United States, we have a right to deny you for virtually any reason. But I think being a supporter of Hamas and coming into our universities and turning them upside down and being complicit in what are clearly crimes of vandalization, complicit in shutting down learning institutions. There are kids at these schools that can't go to class. You pay all this money to these high-priced schools that are supposed to be of great esteem, and you can't even go to class. You're afraid to go to class because these lunatics are running around with covers on their face, screaming terrifying things. If you told us that's what you intended to do when you came to America, we would have never let you in.
We shouldn't even be talking about this. I mean, if we were a couple years ago, we just put you to death. But somehow we nicer than that. I think these people should be put to death, you ask me, but that's just me. I need to pray about it. Y'all pray for me. You come to America trying to conjure up anti-American, we should just put you to death. Why are we even playing? Go home or we put you to death. Why are we even playing with these people? Because these are the very people that get splinter cells and indoctrinate people that go out and commit terrorist activity. They're literally on taxpayer dollar with the blood and tears and sacrifice that our soldiers have made for freedom in America. They are coming here and living off of that and building terrorism off of that. If you really love Sharia law and Allah Akbar, then why don't you go to a country and study in the country that the Allah Akbar all you want? Go and live under Sharia law and the Intifada and all this other stuff. Why y'all here? We should deport every single Muslim that is not an American citizen that believes that Sharia law is above the American Constitution. You're gone. Let them go Allah Akbar in the middle of the street and death to America. You're gone. We don't need to talk. We don't need to. You gone. You got to get out of here. We not first class ticket. You flying Spirit. You gone. You out of here. Get out of our country. We should be demonizing, shunning people who are out here pushing anti-American rhetoric that are foreigners, not people that live here. You live here. You just stupid, and you can't fix stupid. But when you are foreigner, you don't hear a refugee status. You hear waiting a hearing for asylum. What do y'all need me to do to help in this process? Leave. You're not welcome here. Now, some idiot is gonna say, Brandon said Muslims don't. Man, if you a Muslim and you out here chilling and you doing your thing, you living your life, we don't care. You a part of the American dream. You come over and live the American dream. You can Allah Akbar in your house all you want. I don't care. But when you come over here and you're trying to hurt people and you're trying to thwart the very system that people died for, and you ain't a citizen, don't let me be the president. Y'all vote for me. I'm gonna be like. That's why we need to win the midterms. We need to have Supreme Court justice because we need to pass laws that thwart any rights of a person who's a foreigner that come to this country. You have no rights. You have no rights. You only have rights to protect safety, but you don't have a right to speak because you ain't an American and you didn't fight for this. You don't have a right to due process. Don't come over here then. You ain't got to be over here. We got enough people over here. Go somewhere else. You don't need to be here. If we can't afford you the rights that American citizens got, then don't be here. We don't need to go out our way to give you extra rights, to make sure you safe and comfortable. Get out of here. That's what they're doing in Europe. I'm glad. I'm not glad for the Europeans, but I'm glad that we got an example of them overthrown. Wait till they do what they do. Wait till they do what they want to do with Europe. I'm going to be laughing because you weak cowards who prioritize comfort over necessary confrontation, you have now allowed another population of people to completely revolutionize the country that your forefathers built. We don't want you here. And it's okay to say that. If you can't come here and assimilate, we don't want you in America. You don't deserve to be here. I don't care if we don't have enough doctors. I die before I have people coming over here and not believing in the American dream. Just let me die. Let the American doctor do his best. And I just won't make it. Let me die. Before you get an H-1B visa person over here to come take an American job and then they hate America. Come on, bro. Y'all finna make me act up. Let's get to Marco Rubio. Let's listen to the podcast that idiot was on and trying to say that the Intifada is not. Play the clip.
To me, it felt frightening that we had to reach this moment in the Palestinian struggle. And I remember I didn't sleep for a number of days, and Noor was very worried about my health. And it was heavy. Like I still remember, like I was like, this couldn't happen. And
what do you mean we had to reach this moment? What moment is this?
I was interning at UNRWA at that point, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency at the UN, at their New York office. And as part of my internship, my research and work was focused on, Palestine, on the situation in the West Bank and Gaza. And you can see that the situation is not sustainable. You have an Israeli government that's absolutely ignoring Palestinians. They are trying to make that deal with Saudi and just happy about their Abraham Accord without, looking at Palestinians as if Palestinians are not part of the equation. And they circumvented the Palestinian question. And it's clear, it's becoming more and more violent. By October 6th, over 200 Palestinians were killed by Israeli forces and settlers. Over 40 of them were children. So that's what I mean by unfortunately we couldn't avoid such a moment. And
what?
And yeah, it was absolutely difficult, to see not only the horrific images, but also the response of Israel, because I knew that's what Netanyahu wants.
Go and get that hellfire warmed up. Go and get it warmed up. Go and put that on preheat. Throw these people in there. The thing that bothers me about these people is that we are everybody that support Palestine and support this Gaza on the Gaza side, you are instigating and are a part of a demonic reality, in my personal opinion. I'm talking about people who knowingly do it, not the people who's stupid and they watch a couple things on TV. Free Palestine. They don't even know where Palestine is at. But first of all, Palestine even is a country anyway. But they have no idea what they talk about. From the river to the sea, which river? All right, not these idiots. I'm talking about people who study this stuff and they somehow believe that the Palestinians are right in this situation. You don't give me that bull crap of the response from Israel. The response from Israel should just to clean everybody out. That to me, that could be a response from Israel, but they didn't do that. Just imagine if the roles were reversed and Israel went into this is crazy. If Israel went into a Arabic country and they beheaded people and they took people hostage, and then the Arab country bombed the living daylights out of Israel, nobody would even care. Because Gaza tried to do it, they just had the Iron Dome. That's the only reason why they didn't kill hundreds of thousands of Israelis, because they have the Iron Dome. Now let's talk about the Intifada. This dummy is on the record saying Intifada don't necessarily mean violent. Well, the last two Intifadas resulted in a lot of killing. I'm just going to give you the Israeli death toll. The first Intifada in 1987, when I was born, was about 100 civilians and 60 soldiers were killed. The second Intifada was 1,000 Israelis killed. 741 of them were civilians. That's more civilians than the members of security forces that were killed, because it was only 342. So their kill ratio is double, 2-to-1, civilian to military personnel. And nobody cried about the Intifada then, did you? I don't Intifada is an Intifada, bruh. What are y'all talking about? And then you're calling for a new global Intifada. What does a global Intifada mean? Our examples of Intifada is murdering people, a murderous rebellion. A global Intifada is what? Murderous rebellion. It's not psychological. Why don't you say a psychological Intifada? He didn't say psychological. He didn't preface it. Ask him, what did he think about Hamas? He will never disavow Hamas. Because I'm telling you, they don't believe Hamas is a problem. They believe that they're freedom fighters. Every time I go on campus and I talk to somebody about this, I say, well, I say, do you believe that they're committing genocide against Palestinians? Yes. Do you believe it's occupied? Yes. Do you believe that Israeli people are trying to destroy and kill all the Palestinians? Yes. Then what's the problem with what Hamas did? If they're fighting back against a genocide, yeah, just go ahead and say you support Hamas. Just say you support it. All of these people that always talk about Israel and how bad Israel is, none of them talk about Hamas at all. They don't talk about what Hamas is doing to their own people. They say free Palestine. They don't say free Palestine from Hamas. They don't do none of that. Ask yourself the question why, and then get back to me.